In an over-air-conditioned office at the National High Magnetic Field Laboratory, I sat beside a young bearded man who cradles a mug of coffee in his hands. As a high school junior at the time, I expected an explanation as complex and intimidating as the name of the institution where we sat. But instead, he turns to me and says 3 simple words. I don't know. These were the words which drew me into the world of research. My first ever research project that summer was to grow these special materials known as correlated electron crystals. And I think the first question I asked was, what are the applications for these? The answer I got was the following story. About 70 years ago, the discovery of germanium as a semiconductor eventually led to the development of the first transistor, which is a component still used in today's phones and computers and many other pieces of technology. So I was satisfied with that answer until I returned about 2 years later for a 10-week REU program in the same lab. And amidst the new batches of crystals and the hands-on training I got with quartz working and spot welding, something about the needs of 50 years from now just felt disconnected. So I decided after that to explore. And I looked at the anti-ferromagnetic phase transition in a metal-organic framework. I studied the ion exchange behavior in supercooled water. But despite being given an explanation of those applications, I just still felt like something was missing. Then day 1 of my Transport 1 class happens, and my teacher explains how it saddens him that the glaciers in Venezuela have melted. He explains to the class, if chemists just thought a little bit more about heat and mass transport, maybe we wouldn't have to deal with climate change. And I realized in that moment that I wasn't looking for application. I was looking for relevance. So I transferred to the Modestino lab at NYU Tandon, and now I study the ways that solid-state energy sources can be used to reduce our carbon emissions on a much larger scale. Now, there's nothing wrong with science that solves the problems of tomorrow. But I personally just cannot ignore the more immediate problems that we have today.
But if we're being honest, I don't know if my research will save the world from climate change. But it was never about what I don't know. It's about what I'm going to do about it.